creatively or destructively. Creation and destruction move only on the vicious circle of harassing bandhas, good and evil, and attempt to stay to one of them for attainment of true freedom and peace. We can never reach the goal. This has to be read and reread because the quintessence of the entire Gita philosophy has been brought out by Papa. If you only try to concentrate upon the plus factor, it doesn't become complete. That is why he said the construction and destruction are concomitant. Creation and destructions are concomitant movements. We can never separate them. Every new creation has at its basis the destruction of the old. This is the law of nature, universally applicable. When this computer, desktop was introduced in the ashram, when we started with word star. Can you imagine? Lot of things happen after that. Then when suppose you have to transfer what is called floppy. So people must have invested a lot of money to manufacture floppy. Then came, the disk. Then came that also one. Now this, what do you call that? Pen drive. So construction, new things come. The old one is destroyed. We don't know that. So this is the law of the nature. So whenever anything happens to our life, we should try to understand this from that point. Very important point. Not only positive, but also the so-called labeled negative. Start up thinking on those lines. We will get not merely pressure, pain also. Not merely profit, loss also. Creation and destruction are concomitant movements. We can never separate them. Every new creation has at its basis the destruction of the old. This is the law of nature, universally applicable. We cannot palliate or shirk or ignore this law of God controlling all the activities of the nature. Including those of human beings. It is over there, facing us at every time, every turn. So this creation and destruction, At every turn. The saving grace for man in the field of action lies only in his acting as an instrument of the divine, in a state of utter freedom from the touch and recoil of action. Hence, here, what is essential is complete dedication of all life's actions to the will and power of the Almighty, dwelling in the heart of all beings, creatures, and things. Else, if we move only in the vicious circle of harassing Dandavas, good and evil, and attempt to cling to one of them for attainment of true freedom and peace, we can never reach the goal. Doubts and fears will ever rise in the mind of such a man, and he will become a scared creature, always a prey to impatience, suspicion, and despair. Therefore, the command of Sri Krishna is, rise beyond the dualities, rise beyond the dharmas of the gunas, rise beyond all conditioned states of existence, conceived of and set up as standards by the fettered mind and intellect. Somebody gives us a new fruit, we taste it. We don't. Because in our mind there is a standard, what is good. That's what Papa says, The sweetness in the sugar cane, the bitterness in the bitter gourd, the spiciness in the chilies, the sourness in the tomato, all these, suppose we accept it as that is the real nature, we will not complain. That's all. So each and every nature. Therefore, the command of Sri Krishna is rise beyond the dualities, rise beyond the dharmas or the gunas, that is, rise beyond all conditioned states of existence, conceived of and set up as standards by the fettered mind and intellect, and be one with me, the all-transcendent reality, and then act in life as my instrument, as my vibhuti, myself revealed in and as your form and body. This is the deliverance that I offer to you. This is the supreme blessedness in which I grant you the bliss of immortality. And finally, for people like us, Papa gives it in a platter. The message of the Gita in a capsule form. Spontaneity of life, born of an egoless purity and innocence. Spontaneity. And a consciousness of immortal freedom, and a condition of perfect divine ecstasy and peace. This is the one supreme note and refrain of the voice that rings through the Gita. Spontaneity. Spontaneity should be understood well. Spontaneity out of impulsive mental state, no. Here, spontaneity of life born of an egoless purity and innocence. A consciousness of immortal freedom and a condition of perfect divine ecstasy and peace is the one supreme note and refrain of the voice that rings through the Gita. So this is how Papa introduces Gita to us. Every now and then we have to keep on bringing all these dimensions into our mind. Now going back to our examples. Yesterday we
270.
217.
started from
Concentration.
why? Everybody is in Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Starting from transformation. The Chambalwali, right? What do you call that? Dacoits surrendering to Vinobaji. Sloga is Karpunya Dosha Mahadasvabhava. They were in utter confusion. They were not comfortable with their present style of life. They wanted to become one with the stream, but they don't know how to do it. That is the condition. My very nature is overcome by faint-heartedness and confusion about my duty. I ask you what is truly good for me. I am your disciple. I surrender to you. Please guide me. Just like that, when they heard about Vinobaji and Vinobaji went there, that was the mental state. And then when the moment they heard about Vinobaji was a great saint, not only a realized saint, a great saint who is well versed in all Shastras. And he did not confine himself to Shastric, propagation. He was plunging into activities because he was a great disciple of Gandhiji.
He walked a long way for Buddha movement.
Buddha movement. Buddha. That was the later. That was taken in 1950s, late 50s. So when he went there, they were placing this problem before them, and he did not assure. The beauty of it surrender is, Vinobaji never said that the government will view it with a different perspective. You will have to go through the consequences even when you surrender. You should be prepared. But at that time, the government also understood the situation, and that is why after that the dacoits slowly, that category got removed from the map of India. So the sloga aligns with this particular example. The surrender was not weakness, it was the dawn of inner strength. Following this turning point, with the support of Vinobaji and the Chambal Valley Peace Committee, the reformed dacoits willingly accepted legal consequences, began a journey towards social reintegration. This transformation remains a profound example of how nonviolence and Atmabala, soul force, can reform even the hardest of hearts. It stands as a living commentary on the Gita's message. Real strength lies in self-surrender, inner clarity, and the courage to change one's course towards Shreyas, the highest good. These are all the points from this particular. Now, we are not confining ourselves only to the shloka and the meaning. No? You watch this. It touches and kindles so many such positive aspects. Their transformation remains a profound example of how nonviolence and Atmabala. Vinobaji was a votary of Atmabala. No? Because he had established in that Atma. So he was interacting with the world outside, living his life from that standpoint, Atmabala. That is why he could touch and quitter. It stands as a living commentary on the Gita's message. Real strength lies in self-surrender, inner clarity, and the courage to change one's course towards Shreyas. From there we move to perseverance. Amit, young marine engineer, you all know the story. We don't have to repeat. And the sloga is, that means, he forgot. He was a marine engineer. He got disconnected from his field of operation for some time. His mind prioritized something else. He was out of touch. Later on, he was again prompted to take it up. So but when he went for an interview, he couldn't, because so many things have taken place after his course of studies. So he has to now reorient himself. So he did not lose heart. He again joined some course, equipped himself, appeared for the interview, got selected, and then now he is working. We have only changed the name, that's all. His name was Sri Ram. So perseverance. He did not drop. He did not get discouraged, dispirited, dejected, disappointed. No. These are all something that is happening in our life, Cling to what is gone. To cling to what is cling to what is gone only clouds our vision. Letting go allows us to move forward with purpose and peace. This understanding is mirrored in the following sloka, chapter number 2, sloka number 11. Ashocyan anvashocastum prajnavadamscha vashase gadasu nagadansuscha anushocanti panditaha. You grieve for those who should not be grieved for. Yet you speak words of wisdom. The wise grieve neither for the living nor for the dead. So in our day-to-day life, when we meet with failures, suppose we go only to dwell on that failure, we will not be able to move forward. So this is how the stanza is connected to this. When we face setbacks, true insight lies in seeing beyond the immediate disappointment. Recognizing that life's flow is not meant to be obstructed by a single failure or loss. Perseverance is the key that transforms setbacks into stepping stones. But by steadfastly continuing despite difficulties, we cultivate resilience and deepen our understanding that no single obstacle can define our journey. Recognizing that life's momentum is greater than any individual failure empowers us to keep moving forward with determination and hope. This is what it touches and kindles. First, he gives us an example and then try to join it with the essence of some slogas. And then how does it help me today, in my field, family, profession, society, individual. And the last one is that. So that we don't limit our Gita study to textual knowledge. What is the number 3? Inclusiveness. You all remember that? Father having the Parkinson's problem, so they decided to put him in the old age home. The grandson was the instrumental cause for making them realize the mistake. And then what happened? They apologized. The truth fell. That means they thought, in the present day, in the present context, it is better he is put in the old age home. They were good people, not that they had any disrespect toward the elderly person. But they thought, if he is there, both of them are going to the office. Nobody will be there at home. The grandchild goes to the school. Suppose something else comes. This was there in their mind. And one day while they were taking the breakfast, somehow his hand, shook, and then the coffee or something, got spilled over the shirt or dress of his son. And then the daughter-in-law immediately said, it is high time we try to put him in the... That is how the background. They did not consider that old age and disease and old age can come to everybody, anybody. That reality was touched and kindled by their son. They found a very good... so in that moment, then the sloka is, Dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yauvanam jara tatha dehantara praptihi dhiras tatra namuhyati. Just as the soul passes through childhood, youth and old age in this body, so too it moves on after death The wise are not deluded by this. So we took the essence from that. And then, for us today, what the mind resisted, the child's heart revealed. Old age is not an error to be corrected, but a stage to be respected and included. All of us will pass through, no? Many of us are passing through that. The Gita once again had spoken through the voice of innocence, reminding us that true wisdom lies in embracing every phase of life with inclusiveness, honoring the dignity and value each generation brings. If we try to limit ourselves to the slogan and meaning, we may not be able to get this. We have to come out of it. This is a powerful message for all of us. When we are in our childhood, youth and middle age, we hardly think about that. Only when the retirement comes from our present field of activities, we find a gap. Many people become miserable. They don't adapt because during their active life they have not visualized that this is going to open. When they visit, we remember when we were in Mumbai 10-15 years back, one commodore from Naval, what is that called, Navy, he came there and he was telling us our greatest problem is with the retired people. They were all efficient people, asset to the organization, but after retirement they got shattered. They are not only a problem to themselves, to their families, and also to their friends. They are unable to adapt. Money is there, but the involvement is not there. Always grumblings and complaints. Previously, when they go, the orderly or somebody, they will salute, do whatever is there. Now you have to do it by yourself. You have to adapt, So while you are in service, suppose you think about those things, you will not feel upset at all. Think. Inclusiveness. Then comes transience. Might remember that the son was prevented from carrying on with his studies because of the father's addiction to alcohol. And he ran away and then he couldn't get a transfer. That was also blocked by his father. And his uncle then prevailed. 1 year he lost. Then he was prevailed upon to go back and for a few years you have to put up, that's all. Endure them. And then what happened? He put his heart and soul into the studies as well, while discharging all other duties assigned to him. And then he came out with colors, and now he is successful. He built a successful life for himself. So he was able to transcend, not getting stuck with it. So here the sloka says, Matra sparshastu kaunteya shitoshna sukha dukkada agama payino nityam samstidishtasya bharata. O son of Kunti, the contact between the sense and the sense objects, sense organs, that sense gives rise to fleeting perceptions of happiness and distress. These are temporary, coming and going, like winter and summer. One must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. Had the boy allowed his worries and hardships to overwhelm him, he might have lost his way. This story reminds us that life's joys and sorrows are transient. We must not get stuck in them, but should persevere and move forward. Then comes optimism. Something taken from Papa's In Quest of God. When he was passing through, he was on his way to Rameshwaram. He had to get down because the TT said without tickets you cannot. From there are 6 miles, and his co-traveler grumbled and complained. Then Papa said, only 6 miles we have to go. So that means changing everything into positive. Apparently a negative situation is changed into positive. Same thing. It is all coming and going. At times we will be allowed by the TT, at times we will not be allowed. Same slogan. Cold and heat, pleasure and pain, they come and go and are impermanent. Endure them bravely. So Papa's calm acceptance shows how a devotee transforms inconvenience into an opportunity for gratitude and optimism, enduring the ups and downs of life with unwavering faith in the divine will. From there we move to invariant. Somebody buys a land, puts up a structure. At the time of buying the land, his mind is full of that site only. He recognizes the importance of the site. That is the base from where he is building up something. And then in this case, a factory was built up. Beautiful factory, lot of departments. And then his mind was occupied only by this. Not a word about land. So that means our base we are not aware. So the sense of individuality, body, mind, intellect is the structure which has been built upon that. We hardly recognize. So this is through this, we are reminded of always trying to dwell on both. Not merely the site, not merely the building. Both are valid. Without the site, building cannot be put up. Without the building, the utility value will not be there. Both are needed. But in our case, what happens? We unknowingly, unwittingly forget about the role of the site of the building. That has been pointed out. That which, so avinashitu sadviddhi yena sarvamitam tatam vinasha avyavasyasya nakaschit kartrum arhat. That which pervades the entire body, know it to be indestructible. No one can cause the destruction of the imperishable soul. By constructing a structure, we cannot destroy the land. As the land remains invariant, serving as the silent foundation for all that is built upon, so too does the soul pervade and sustain our existence, imperishable, untouched by change or destruction. The story of the factory is a powerful reminder. While we may become absorbed in the visible achievements of life, we must forget the enduring essence that underlies them all. Now, I think till this we yesterday covered. So now we move to grief. A family is devastated by the sudden passing of its sole breadwinner. Grief engulfs the home. Sorrow, disbelief, fear ripple through every member. In the midst of this emotional storm, a close friend of the departed arrives. Rather than offering hollow words of comfort, he sits silently, allowing the family to pour out their anguish, their pain, their questions. Only after the waves of emotion settle a little, he gently begins to speak, not with detachment, but with depth, drawing from his own journey of witnessing the loss of loved ones and reflecting on the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita. He begins to introduce a deeper perspective. Slowly, he helps them accept the irrefutable truth of life and death, not as philosophy, but as reality. What gave him the strength to speak so gently, yet so firmly? It was his assimilation of slogan number 27, chapter number 2. Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityur. Dhruvam janma mrityusya. Tasmat apariharyart. Natvam shochitum arhasi. Death is certain for the one who is born, and rebirth is certain for the one who has died. Therefore, you should not grieve over the inevitable. Think. Even after reading this or hearing this, we will forget. But periodical reminder. Chinmayanandaji used to say, death is waiting around the corner, about to pounce upon us. We should be always, if we are, it can happen not only to us, to all our co-creations. If we keep on dwelling upon it, when actual death takes place in our circle, it will give a cushioning effect, Not that we will not be upset. God has given us a mind, so naturally we will be upset. But it will not have anything in depth. At the superficial level, it will come and go. Initially, there will be a jerk. So this is what Bhagavad Gita, through an incident. This verse had become a living truth for him, not just a quote. In village life, all these things can be easily understood. In city life, it is difficult. We can understand that. Because there, when we were in that village area, so many deaths take place, we all rush up. And we used to do whatever is possible for cremating. So we also remain there. So many such incidents that pass through our life. So it is possible. But in city life, everyone is preoccupied with so many things. When somebody dies, we will go, show our face and come back. So it will not have a deep impact in us. And when we keep on associating ourselves with it, we will try to see when we take part in the cremation. Nowadays, that is also denied, because when you go there, electric crematorium, so you will not see also. You don't have to prepare the pyre. Here it is there. When somebody dies in the ashram, we arrange immediately telephone to that place where the body is cremated. Our workers will go with firewood and arrange for the pyre. Then we take the body there, we place it, and then it is lighted. So we know after 2 or 3 days, 1 or 2 days, go there to collect the ashes or bones, and then it is taken nearby. So in somebody's case, if they are fortunate enough, we send it to Rishikesh or Haridwar to be offered to Mother Ganga or any such rivers, Kaveri, Krishna, Yamuna, like that. So this facility is not available in city life. So always we have to keep on hammering this. Death is there because when birth is there, Baji used to say, when you have taken a ticket called birth, your destination is death. Nobody is exempt.
Somebody in city, both are there.
Oh.
But people don't know how to make it, not immediate.
That is okay, convenience sake. But the problem is the tangible gain we get by associating. That will not be there. And in village, the population will be less, Here it will be more. Because nowadays I am told, even in city, when one body comes, another body comes, so everybody is busy in handling it. So death is certain for the one who is born, rebirth is certain for the one who has died, therefore you should not grieve over the inevitable. This verse had become a living truth for him, not just a quote, but an anchor during turbulent times of grief. And now it became a quiet light for those in darkness, guiding them towards inner acceptance and a renewed outlook on the life that still remained to be lived. From there we move to integrity.
So Swamiji, one question.
Yeah.
So when we say don't grieve, it's
No, not don't grieve. It will not upset us.
Yeah.
It will be there, no?
It's also a natural
Natural.
process to
Yeah.
come out of the sadness and the sorrow.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
So if somebody is grieving, that's also a way for them to come out of, because also especially as the example kind of states, a breadwinner is lost. It's not just that the individual, but the entire family is, it's kind of in a very disarray and difficult state. So grieving heals them to see what can be done.
No doubt about it. It is not a bad thing. It is a gift. The only thing is we should be able to mind. That is why, in the initial you will find he gives them enough time for that. And they have to move forward, So they are made to understand that this is not something which had happened unnaturally. It's a natural process. So when that dawns in them, the impact becomes less. Not that impact will not be there. And here, in most cases, I don't know about other places, when a breadwinner is, suppose he dies and the family is in streets, immediately, it will be shared through, nowadays, what do you call it? Social media and paper. And immediately there will be a fund collection. And there will be something. Suppose half the building is half constructed, he dies. It will be constructed. They have nothing to fall back upon. Then immediately land, construction, something takes place. And then job, immediately something takes place. So he will be able to, the person who goes there to console them, he will be able to bring all these dimensions so that they will not know what am I to do from tomorrow, So you give them something by which they get reassured. But at the same time, they will start recognizing that what had happened is a natural flow. Only that you can say it could have happened after some years when all these responsibilities are over, something like that we may say, that's all. Then they will also start thinking that if the Gita is giving. We all remember when Panditji passed away in 1964, we were at that time in Chennai employed. Dr. S. Radhakrishnan, who was the President of India, on those days, only through radio you get the message. So he quoted the same Dehinosmin Yata Allah. That cloth, Jirnani Yatha Vihaya. Vasamsi Jirnani Yatha Vihaya. So then, when we heard that, for a second we also thought, oh, and he explained about it. Morning the death had taken place, the entire nation was informed. Every nation became standstill, literally. We had just gone to the office, then immediately the information came, every shutter was down, we rushed to the Hindu office for a book, because no TV or anything, everybody would like to know the details. So 1-page supplement immediately they released. So we were in the queue, then got it, then immediately went to Rajaji Hall. There Ramdhun was going on throughout the day. No food. And evening, when we switched on the radio in somebody's house, we don't have a radio. Then, Dr. Radhakrishnan came on this thing and then quoted this. Vasamsi Jirnani Yatha Vihaya. Explained everything. Some cushioning. Everybody felt somebody has died from their own family. So it has its, grief is there. Grief is not bad. That is a natural process. And in fact, some amount of tears, some amount of this has to come out. Otherwise, suppression leads to something else. We have also seen In one family, the marriage of the daughter was taken place, and in the evening, they had arranged for their nuptial in a hotel. And as soon as they were seen off by the parents, the father came back. He had a massive heart attack, died in the chowdhury. Daughter was not informed. Everybody said, why inform them? And they will remember this always. So early morning, a group of friends went slowly, informed them, slowly came back. And we had witnessed it. She did not cry first. So then somebody tried to bring home to this idea, because it can lead to something else. Then it came out. For 1 or 2 or 3 hours, all the screaming, everything. Then settled down. So that is these are all the tangible gain of this sloga and the explanation is, we go through all these things, So the reality is being accepted by us now. Probably when a situation comes, how will we accept? We don't know. Now we are all accepting the situation. We are equipping ourselves with that knowledge. Not merely a knowledge, through an experience. So next is integrity. After a terminal exam, answer sheets were handed down back to the students. One student declared, the class topper, noticed an error. The total marks on his paper were inflated by 3. Correcting the mistake would mean he would drop to the 3rd rank. But without hesitation, the student approached the teacher, pointed out the miscalculation, totally mistake. The teacher was stunned. Here was a rare moment of honesty, where a student refused to accept what was not rightfully his. She reported to the principal, who called the boy and asked, "Why did you not keep quiet?" No one would have noticed. The boy calmly replied, "Exams are meant to measure my progress, not my cleverness in hiding the mistakes." It had happened here on Navodaya school. Moved by the boy's integrity, the principal addressed the school assembly the next day. With pride in his voice, he narrated the incident and said, "I am honored to lead a school where students like this study." Later, a well-wisher of the student reflected that the boy's action was a living example of slogan number 47, chapter number 2. Karmanyevadhikaraste maphaleshu katajana ma karma balaheturbhur mate sangostva karmani. You have the right to perform your duties, not to the fruits of your action. Never act with attachment to results, nor be inactive. The boy's focus was not on being first, but on being right. In that moment, he embodied the spirit of detached action and integrity, doing his duty not for reward, but for truth. So through a life example, relatable example, we are trying to understand the cream of the sloga. Then suddenly we realize what Papa said, it is addressed to the man on the field. And after this, that we have done about 202 slogas like this. But this is an intent of chapter number 2 only, where 35 examples have been brought out from 14 or 17, is that right? How many slogas? 17. From 17 slogas. Then suddenly we realized what Papa said. It is addressed to the common. Because with that bhavana, when we approach the sloga, each such example comes out one by one. Balance we will take it up day after tomorrow. So now the message is this. Kindly think over. You may also do it in your houses. There might be 99.99, there will be Bhagavad Gita. Kindly take it up. Pray to Him who is within us to guide you to plunge deep into it. Any sloga, There need not be any chronological order. When we started, we did not start from first or second. Of course, we did start first. But then later on we found, assorted. This 202 is not that we are going by one. First we did that. 6 slogas from each. We were finding it difficult. That means we are conditioning our mind. Later on we just go through that, then we pause for a moment, then these examples come up, relate it, no, it doesn't go. Then relate it, Then we again do the reflection. Because we should know these slogas have been given to us 6,000, 5,000, 6,000 years ago, after a millennia, Then now we are in 2025. It cannot be interpreted in the way in which it was that time. So we have to pause for a moment. Papa says, reflect. And try to match it with the present day challenges, present day duties, present day commitments. And then we find some torch, some light coming from it. So we request all of you to kindly follow suit. Whatever may be the problems you may face, it is an uphill task, agreed. But once you get that taste, He will guide you from within, 100%. Before we close, we would like to share one more aspect. Where from we came, for example, fundamental. If we have some idea about the source from which we have come, our whole perspective will also change. Because we start from the me and mine. So Gita, when we started plumbing deep into it, how many slokas you see now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, it will be. Oh, I have not shown them. Okay. I'll show them. About this day of tomorrow, we will elaborately go through, but just we wanted to share. This will not come? No.
We can see.
Huh?
We can see.
It will come, you can see them. Now, see, chapter number 7, slogan number 10. I am the eternal seed of all beings. Bijam mam sarvabhudanam. I am the intellect of the intelligent and the splendor of the glorious. And the next one, I am the supreme goal of all living beings. I am also their sustainer, master, witness, abode, shelter, and I am the repository of and the eternal seed. I am the generating seed of all beings, O Arjuna. No creature moving or non-moving can exist without me. Papa said, spirit and matter, moving and non-moving. My womb is the real Brahman. In it I place the seed. From that, O Bharata, is the birth of all beings. It should be understood that all species of life, O son of Kunti, are made possible by birth in this material nature. I am the seed-giving father. Know that all living beings are manifested by these two energies of mine. I am the source of the entire creation, and into me it dissolves. I am the origin of all creation. Everything proceeds from me. The wise who knows this perfectly worship me with great faith and devotion. I am the pure fragrance of the earth, the brilliance in the fire. I am the life force in all beings. You see? That we can easily understand. Life, death, life. உயிர் சொல்கிறோமே. So life force and the penance of the ascetics. Then here, I am the Samaveda among the Vedas, Indra among the celestial god, among the senses, I am the mind, amongst the living beings, I am consciousness, Chetana. All of us now are conscious of hearing this, conscious to know that I am sitting, I am hearing, that consciousness is there. Oh, that is God. So, life force and the first stanza, I am the intelligent, I am the intellect of the intelligent. So, intelligence, consciousness, life force. This is the source, original cause. So, how Gita brings everything, in the knowable realm. Suppose we treat Krishna as only a personal aspect. Krishna is personal and impersonal. Through that personal aspect only, the impersonal ideal was delivered to us. All are relevant and valid, but we should know. Ultimately, he points out this. So the in-depth study gives more clarity, because when, as a spiritual child of Papa, when we try to go through the first chapter of Glimpses of Divine Vision, he says, go to your origin. Origin of your and the world life. To know who you are in reality is the quest of life. So for that we don't get any, immediately he says, you go through this. And through all these 7, 10 or 15 stanzas, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 stanzas, in different chapters. He brings home what is our real inner content. More about this on Monday. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. Hari Om to everybody. Pranam, 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 pranam. Namaskaram, namaskaram. Namaskaram, namaskaram. Pranam, pranam. Pranam, pranam.